Oh, today is sweeter. You know why today is sweeter? Today is Mother's Day, and you are tuned in right here on KAZ Radio, the one of the most popular shows on KAZ Radio. None other than What's Going On with Sir John and Lady Dee. How are you guys doing today?
Fair to middling.
Fair to middling. Fair to middling. You sound like an old man.
I know, he old. He ancient.
Ancient.
Old soul.
Mr. Fair to middling.
Yeah, I tell you. Well, I'm doing just awesome. It's beautiful. We got perfect weather. Not too cold, just right. Everybody can get out and enjoy this wonderful day and just give God some praise today. First of all, let's just give it up to God.
Hallelujah.
Give God some praise today.
Yes.
Because He has really blessed us with having these wonderful, all of us having mothers. And I don't care if the mother was not in your thought the best mother she could be. If it wasn't for her, you would not be here.
Come on.
Okay, so let's give her some love anyway.
That's right.
All right? Because
that's what
so
today
important.
is all about.
Yes,
today,
yes.
It's about recognizing, and I hope our listeners call in.
Yes.
Give a shout out to your mother.
Yes. Call in to 216.
And she said it perfectly earlier there.
216-539. That's 539-7225. We want to hear from you. We want to hear about what your mom means to you and how special she is. Okay? Give her some love today on our KZ Internet Radio with us. All right. So, speaking of being special,
Yeah.
I want to hear from my men here in the studio. Tell me about your mom. Who wants to go first? Don't go all at one time. Come on now.
Well,
Who's
I got a lot
going
of mothers,
first?
so you can go.
Well, I have a lot of mothers too, but my main squeeze,
All right. Let's talk about the main
as she is in heaven today,
Amen.
looking down on us. And then again, I don't know, my mother, she may not be looking down on us because she just loves to have a good time. So she may be having such a good time, she'd have forgot about this planet.
Right? That's the whole point.
And she said, "I'll see y'all when y'all get here." I don't have time to look in on y'all. But no, my mother, Gloria Jean Butler James, she was quite a woman. She was quite a woman to me. I am and still am a mama's boy, And one thing I loved was to hear her laugh. And so that's probably where I got a lot of my humor from, trying to make her laugh. And she would crack up at the most silliest things I do. But she was a very serious woman when it came to Mother's Day. I'll share this brief story.
Okay.
I started my business. I had started a janitorial business, and I was just extremely busy. Really, really, really busy. And so busy that I let Mother's Day pass one year.
Ooh.
Totally just slipped my mind. Slipped my mind. So sometime within that week, she hadn't called me. She hadn't said anything. I said, I haven't heard from her. It's not like her not to hear from her. So I do one better. I go by the house. And I said, and I said, I'm starting a business. I was busy. And I said, well, Mom, Mom, let me apologize. I'm so busy with the business. And then I said, you know what? My money was short. I couldn't get you anything because my money was short. I'm coming with all these excuses.
Mm-hmm.
She said, stop right there. She said to me, now listen, there are 365 days in a year. If you put away $1 a day for your mother, for Mother's Day, you would have a gift of at least $365. When she told me that, from that point on until the day she died, she always got a gift from me worth $365 or more every single year. And we laughed about it, we crack up about it, but that just resonated in me. This is my mom. How am I going to forget my mother on Mother's Day? And then how am I not going to put money aside just to get her a gift?
Right.
A card, something. And she it wasn't that she wanted something worth $365. The point was you just never forget your mama.
Right.
And so from that point on, I always given her a gift up until the day that she passed. So, yeah, my mother, you know, she raised us. My father raised us, but my mother was just my heart. I mean, she was just my heart. And funny to say, you know, do I miss her? Absolutely. I remember always picking up the phone to call her, and right, she's not there to pick up the phone.
Right.
You know, I can't talk to her. So for those of you out there listening, mothers are extremely important. And you know, don't forsake your mama.
Exactly.
Never
Regardless.
forsake your mama.
Never.
Yes.
Never do that.
So that's my Mother's Day story.
Wow.
And you know what? I enjoyed that point that she made, because if you think about it, $1 a day, $1 a day, you could have $365 for whatever there is that you may want to do.
Right.
And that would be a smart way of starting just a small savings.
Yes.
Okay? And children can do that.
Right.
You know, take their allowance and put $1 away
For mama.
for mama. Okay? That's awesome.
Yes.
She made
And that's
an
that
impact.
$1 is all you get for allowance.
Okay, now John, we know you got more than
go.
$1
There we
for
go, John.
Okay, we know you got more than $1.
I'm just saying.
Did you work like a Hebrew slave for it?
Yes, I did.
So tell us about your mom, John, because you're blessed to have your mother still here with us. And I understand
Yeah.
she's still working, still
Yes.
wanting to work. That's all right.
And it's good. It's good. Sometimes. But I've come to truly appreciate my mother, and truly deeply admire. I realize now more than ever that she's probably was the most strongest person in my life. And my wife Lois liked to say she's stronger than a mule. She's like, she just doesn't stop. And I'm like, no, she doesn't stop. But just the things that she did, raising a family, you know, a lot of people, and her, my father, but she mainly was when, well, my father had his own business. He worked for the state, the city, and things like that. And he had his own business, and his friends took advantage of him. And the business sort of fell apart. But she was the one who was the cement to know what to do, how to get out, how to keep the family and the kids what they needed to have, and keep everybody on point. So we didn't really notice as much how horrible financial situation they were in.
Okay.
You know. And I take that on her spiritually, mentally, physically, keeping the tone. You know, not every family is perfect, but she raised some very outgoing, vocal, opinionated individuals, and gave us all the opportunity to, you know, get an education, to do what we want and follow our dreams. One of her main things were, whatever goal you have, make that, you know, keep that priority in front of you. You know, even that one of the times I get that saying, and I try to live by, that problems are not obstacles but opportunity. That's from her. Or try again, even though that's coming from democracies. But she used to say it all the time, over and over and over. That, you know, it wasn't that failure was not an option. Failure was an opportunity.
Right.
You know, learn from it.
Yeah.
Move on. You know, because that failure could help you to your goal.
Exactly.
And not a very loud spoken person, though she's an Aries, so when she did lose her temper, it was like a whirlwind. But but even then, it was just quick, fast, and yeah, you got it. You know, but always even toned, always calm most of the time.
That's how my mother was. She was very soft spoken.
But very, I like to say, passive aggressive. She got her way.
and still doing it today.
Exactly. Just steadily keeping on, and not slowing down. So she is one of my heroes in my life.
That's awesome. Well, my mother, Arita Anderson Freeman, was truly a queen. She is my everything. And my mother's been gone for quite some time. And just recently, last few days, my heart has I've really been thinking about how much I really miss her. And then I look back at the things that I do and how I say to myself, boy, I'm more and more like my mother. My mother stayed busy. She was an activist. She was involved in any and everything. She loved outdoors. She loved writing. She was really big in theater. We grew up at the Kirmu House and Humanist Theater, and everybody in our home, Saturdays was our day to get away and go take some sort of class. Find something that you like doing. We're getting out of here. My kids are going to be involved. And today I find myself, I'm still just like that. I love to go. And I enjoy being involved in different events and participating and always looking to help someone do something, And I enjoy that. My mom was very soft-spoken, and it took a lot to really get her riled up, because she didn't believe in shouting and screaming and cursing her kids out and all of that. She didn't have to do that. She just give you that look, and that would be it. She wasn't a beater. She didn't have to beat on us, and that was, I guess you would say, that was a blessing too, and then when she had to do that, give you a whooping, depending on what you did, you may get the whooping and the punishment. And sometimes, especially if it was in the summertime, I always beg for the whipping because I want the punishment because that would hurt you more, and she knew it.
Right.
Yes, indeed. But, I miss her because we would talk every day. And me and my mother, we could talk about any and everything, just any and everything. And so I'm truly going to miss her. I miss her today.
Hello?
Oh, no. I didn't mean to do that.
Call in.
Yeah, call in, honey. As one of my daughters now calling in. Want to say Happy Mother's Day. So, here we go. If you want to talk about your mom, what make her so special, please give us a call at 216-539-7229. We want to hear from you. Okay?
See, that's one of the things, I think a lot of people, we forget, like you said earlier, good or bad, this is the woman who brought you in the world, and I guess the way I grew up with my mom, that's why I look at a lot of people and say, it doesn't matter if you're rich or poor or middle class, you can do a lot of things to help your child. And if you make them the priority, and she did, and that's the sacrifice. That's what Mother's Day is about, is showing appreciation to your mother that made that sacrifice for you, Yeah, it's huge. It's huge.
Yes.
And then the support system you have. So I would like to say Happy Mother's Day as well to all my aunts. My Aunt Jackie and my Aunt Arnett, my mom's twin sister. Each of them, and my great Aunt Thelma, the love of my life. Well, next to Lois, of course. Lois is the love of my life, but
Right.
who is also Happy Mother's Day to you.
Yes, and I want to say, I am not upset with the mothers that are on Section 8.
Well, thank God. They're doing the best they can.
It's not your fault. And here we get. Thank goodness someone's taking me off the subject. We look like we have an out of town caller.
Okay.
So go ahead, caller, and share what you want to share about Mother's Day right here on KAZ.
Hello.
Yes.
Hey, caller, how are you?
I'm excellent. I want to say that I've been enjoying your show, and I'm one of your biggest fans. And I want to congratulate you guys for doing an excellent job and keeping our attention every week. I also want to thank Sister Aurelia, who's my mother, and I'm her only child. And I want to say how much I appreciate her. And she just sets the tone for everything because she always goes out after whatever she wants. She's very determined, and she has given me that drive to do so as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Aisha. Thank you very much. Well, that comes from our grandmother. My mom, the go-getter. She kept us busy. Yes, she did.
Aisha, tell us, what did your mother do when you were bad? How did she correct you?
Okay, so I'm going to say I was more of the lucky one because my mother was not the type that disciplined me with like a spanking. I don't say that's good, but because it was just me and her in the home, we had a communication. And by having a great communication with each other, she was able to sit down and talk to me and explain why things were not supposed to be done. And I was probably put on punishment, and this was happened in the house, stayed in the house, and she prevented me from a lot of embarrassment as well.
Wow, that's awesome. Go ahead.
And so that gave me a lot of respect for my mother, and it also opened a lot of doors for me to be able to express how I feel and be able to tell her things that most of my friends would not open up and tell their mother.
Well, and
so that way, in return,
that communication was really important.
It was really important because in return, I had a lot of respect for my mother, a lot of respect for her. So a lot of my friends, they hid a lot of things from their mother, and their parents probably never know what's going on in their life, and that's probably why the way they're going down the road they are right now. But my mother was able to give me feedback, to show me examples in her life where things went wrong and how she was able to correct them, and she prevented me from making a lot of mistakes that way.
Now, Aisha, are you raising any children right now?
I am not raising any children, but I do have plenty of nieces and nephews, and my father has 13 kids, and I'm the second oldest out of all of them.
Wow.
So I pretty much raised
since
them.
you are raising children.
Well, that,
Yes.
Vicariously, in person.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they all love them some Auntie Isha, though.
Yeah,
That's
I can't get
also
away.
being a mother,
Yeah.
you know?
So you don't have to have kids is to be a mother and play the
No.
role of a mother, and that's for
It's
sure.
step
We have a
in and
lot
be
of
that support.
Yeah, we have a lot of women here today that do not have kids of their own, but they play the role and they've been somebody's mother, and that's so important
Very,
because we all need that guidance.
very, very.
Absolutely.
well, Aisha, I want
And I
to just thank you.
I want to thank you, too. I love your show. You guys work well together, and it sometimes is very amusing, so it keeps our attention. And I like that the guy behind the camera pulls out. He goes and drills in while you guys are being a little soft.
Yeah, Aisha, thank you. And just one final
But you
question.
need that.
And just one final question from me, the guy behind the camera.
No, now why you had to say that?
Okay.
You don't got him started.
Come on, let's get it going.
Are you familiar with Section 8?
Don't even answer.
Okay, I am familiar with Section 8,
Okay.
and I do not think it's the devil, but I think this should be a limited time that you should be on Section 8.
That's a nice compromise.
Because it keeps men from out of the house.
So I think that when the parents are put on there, they should be having a program that goes along with that. And if
Right.
they
A
can't stay on
stepping
that
stone.
program, they don't need to be on Section 8.
A stepping
Because at the
stone.
end of the day, it is our tax dollars. But at the same time, you do have women out there that were put in situations that they couldn't help because they were unknowledgeable and they didn't have great parents to teach them how to be able to handle their finances or not to spread their legs and get pregnant or whatever that may be. But what happens is when you do, they should have some type of responsibility for being on Section 8. You should be on Section 8 for 5 years. We're going to give you 5 years. You're going to go out here. You're going to get in this workforce program. If you don't, you will be forced to be put on the street and let your family take care of you. Boom.
I'm in love.
Whatever.
I'm in love.
I didn't say that's a nice compromise. Thank you, Aisha. Maybe a little bit more than 5 years because everybody's different, but you did tailor to
But
the unique
what I want to say,
individual.
What I want to say is you guys are, because you guys have your own aspects of life and you guys think different ways, there's a balance here, though.
Sure.
So that's good.
That's absolutely
So
true.
Earth, wind, and fire.
Well,
it
hey,
doesn't-
we got another caller.
Oh, we got another caller, Aisha. We thank you, darling.
All right, thank you, guys.
Okay.
Bye. Hello, caller.
Hi, how are you today?
Hi. How are
Hello.
you?
Hello.
Hello. I actually just called in to give a Mother's Day shout out. Can I do that?
Yes, you
Please
can.
do.
And by the way, caller, who are you?
I would. My name is Karen, and
Hi,
I wanted
Karen.
to call and tell my mom. She's not my mother, but she is like so inspirational to me, and she is so just uplifting. And just anytime I need her, I can always call on her, and it's just like such a great person in my life.
There
I
you
just
go.
want to say Happy Mother's Day, Mama D.
Another one of my children.
That's what I call you. Happy Mother's Day. You are so awesome, and I'm sorry to bombard you guys, but I had to.
No.
I had to. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
No, we wanted to call you now. Is your mother living today? Your biological mom?
My biological mom is living. Yes, she is. But you can never have. I mean, it takes a village to raise a child,
That's
right?
true.
I touch spaces with a lot of women today, and Mama D is just one of the women that just uplifts me so much, and I can't even put it into words. I just want to thank you so much. Thank you.
Wow.
Aw,
That's
thank
awesome.
you so much, Karen.
I hope you have a wonderful day. She calls me Punny, but you have a wonderful day, and everyone and all of the mothers out there, you guys have a wonderful Mother's
Now
Day.
now don't you get off this air without giving Karen some love. Give your mommy some love.
I want to send another shout out to my mother, Karen. She's doing awesome, and I just happy Mother's Day, Mommy. Happy Mother's Day. That's
There
it.
you go. There you
All
go.
right, you girls have fun in Florida. You're in Florida now.
We in Atlanta.
Oh, you back in Atlanta?
Listening to you in Atlanta.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I know Isha said you guys had went to Florida and then you came back to Atlanta, so you've been back and forth. So you're now back in Atlanta.
Atlanta. Yes.
Okay, great.
But
We're
then,
listening to you.
that's awesome to hear. Could
You
I come
guys-
back? Go ahead.
Thank you. I just wanted to say thank you. That's it.
Oh.
Well, thank you so much, dear, and I want you to enjoy the
Thank
rest
you.
of your day too. Much
Thank
love,
you.
and I hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
Okay.
God bless you. Bye-bye.
Come
Bye bye.
visit.
Okay.
Goodbye.
See how that comes back around? Your daughter, and then you being her friend's other mother
That's
figure.
my stepchild.
Your sister?
I just have sister.
So it comes to that a lot, and you see that comes back to the village. It takes a village to raise a child. In my family, I have a couple of sisters who don't have children, but they did a lot for everybody else and helped raise their children. That stood in person. That's you, Disha. Happy Mother's Day, and that's you, Annika. Happy Mother's Day. And it's so important that you take that and do things like that, so everyone has a place in God's in the way He's crafting the world or crafting society.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
amazing. And you see that, When I looked at Lois and her, and Lois again, and her son, I'd see that she was a single mom, but her son is probably one of the most decent people you will ever come across in your, just morally right.
Okay. And that says a lot.
And
That
you
says
can
a lot.
see it coming. He doesn't have to say it. You see it, and it's in his actions.
Mm-hmm.
She did a great job, and that's one of the things I always thought about her: the way she went and did things. That strength and that. So, mothers are important.
Yes.
Whether you have a child or not.
Yeah.
Or whether you're stepping in and being a volunteer.
Yes.
My Aunt Jackie, before her son, she did a lot of volunteer work, which inspired me when I was a kid, watching her constantly going to one thing to the other and giving her free time to educate people and show things and things like that. She was a librarian. It was amazing, and she was always talking and always conversation. And my great aunt Thelma, I was in her neighborhood in Washington D.C. A lot of immigrants coming into from Latin America. A lot. She lived in her neighborhood, changed over the years from when she moved there in the 50s, but yet everyone called her auntie. Yeah. And she knew everybody's business, even though she doesn't speak Spanish.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, you know what? What was one of your favorite meals your mom cooked you?
Okay, that's another story.
That's another
I'm
story.
going to give you this story.
Okay.
Okay. My mother made the best macaroni and cheese in the world to me.
Okay.
And I remember growing up just ranting and raving and couldn't wait for Mom to make macaroni and cheese, with greens and the whole bit. The macaroni was delicious.
Okay.
So one Thanksgiving, I'm taking out the trash, after having one of these great meals with the macaroni and cheese. I'm taking out the trash, and I noticed a huge Stouffer's macaroni and cheese box in the garbage. And I was perplexed, John, to say the least.
Oh my goodness.
Because
1 + 1.
I
Did he
knew
equal 2?
that my mama hadn't been making this delicious macaroni cheese using Stouffer's.
Oh no.
It couldn't be. Impossible. Impossible. So, after taking out the trash, I approached her. I said, Mom, why did I see a macaroni and cheese from Stouffer's
She overcome and adapted.
She just started cracking up. I mean, she just started laughing and laughing and laughing. And she says, as I got older, I use it as my base. Because she would take the macaroni and cheese, then she would add the additional 3 more cheeses, additional macaroni and cheese, and so on and so forth to make this macaroni. So she would improve upon the Stouffer's base.
Wow, that's slick.
So, exactly. And I said, Mom, you're slick. I said, but it's always been delicious, but I didn't know that's how she, finally did it. And,
wow.
Before she passed, because I know she used to. At least I didn't think there was a macaroni and cheese base. I always thought it was that. And one other thing that my mother makes, she could bake. She could bake the best chocolate chip cookies in the world. And what she did was simple. Everybody would rant and rave about her chocolate chip cookies. And she says, all I do is follow the Toll House recipe. That's all I do. But what she didn't tell us, that she never used margarine or any of that stuff.
Okay.
She used butter.
Real butter.
My mother was a
Real
butter person. I mean, she did not believe in margarines and substitutes. No substitutes. Everything was butter. And that's why her cookies turned out so well as her rolls. She'd make rolls, brother, that would melt in your mouth, not in your hands. She kneaded the dough and let it rise and kneaded it again and let it rise and then
put that little cloth over.
Put that cloth over the bowl.
Yes.
And that bowl would rise, the yeast would rise and and then she put them in the oven, man. Bruh.
Because my girlfriend Tanya, who was my sister, I miss her so much. She's been gone for a while, for some years now. Tanya Ferguson. Her mother, Sandy, could make some homemade rolls. And when she would make them rolls, I had my name on them. Sometimes I go over there and just sit down in the basement, because she had a kitchen in the basement too.
Yes.
And I would sit there and wait on them rolls to rise. And they go in the oven, and I was getting me a dozen to take home.
Come on.
I could just eat butter. And
roll. That's it. That's it.
I didn't have to have nothing else.
No.
Eat Sandy rolls. They was just really awesome. And now my mom, she made really good peach cobbler. Ooh. Mother could make the best peach cobbler and banana pudding. She had a trick with banana pudding.
Yes.
And I never learned how to make that banana pudding. I think she added Cool Whip or something else was in that banana pudding.
Make it more fluffy.
But it would just fluff up. And I know one year my daughter gave me a surprise birthday party. Mama made peach cobbler, and she made a pan of the banana pudding. Well, one of my cousins, he was so slick, he wound up taking one of them pans out of there. Went out the back door with him, and as the party was going and everybody got something
looking for it.
Yeah, Mama was like, I brought another pan over here. I said, yeah. She said, that's a doggone shame. Somebody walked out of here with the pan. And we knew who it was. It was my cousin Brownie, because he had been wanting it. Yeah, but that was some good oh my God. And I never mastered to make peach cobbler either.
Really?
No, I didn't, because they made the crust by hand.
Yeah.
You know, they made the crust, and Mama
That's
would
easy.
mix
You can do
everything
that.
up in the crust. But it had a special taste.
Right,
Now, you just
right.
can't throw no
I can
peach
cook.
cobbler
I ain't
together.
saying
You just can't
that.
throw some peaches.
You just can't throw no peaches from the can and put it in there. No, they had
No, made it by hand.
all
It's
the
easy.
seasons and everything.
Right.
Now, you make a good cheesecake.
I cook, right, and I make it by scratch. by
Yes,
the way.
John brought me a piece of
Oh,
cheesecake.
really?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, he cooked a little
Brought
bit.
you a piece.
He brought me a piece.
Okay,
Yeah,
that beat me
brother.
or nothing. But
What? Oh,
but
God.
speaking of John,
It took her about 2 or 3 weeks.
John, I'm gonna let you get to your mom's dishes, but Mother Robinson and my Mother Rogers here on KAZ from the Holy Ghost Express show.
Okay,
They sometimes brings me in lunch.
okay.
Mother Robinson will bring me in. No, Mother Rogers will bring me in some oxtail stew.
Ooh,
I haven't had that in a long time.
Me either.
MOG. You hear me, brother? She brings that in from time to time. It's absolutely delicious. So Mother Rogers, if you're listening, you know it's about that time of the season. Well, actually, it's a fall. It's a fall dish.
and oxtails
And
is expensive
It
too.
is. It is. And Mother Robinson brings me in. Not only is it a peach cobbler, but it's a pecan pie peach cobbler.
Really?
Oh, she does the combo.
Oh, bruh.
Oh, my
bruh,
goodness.
I take my insulin before I eat it. I got it right here. I take my insulin, and man, I go to town. Mother, if you're listening, and I know you watch, 'cause I see my
Oh,
Donna
that
Robinson
sounds so
on here.
good.
If you want to bring me in one of them
Take out
cobblers,
order.
Please bring one down, because I want some of that.
bring it on down.
Oh.
You are welcomed here today.
Yes, bring us some of that. Then that'll be a real treat.
It's delicious.
Oh
Absolutely
wow, I
delicious.
never had it like that with the pecans in there. That is real
My
good.
mom, I think, she'll tell you she is not the greatest cook, and I have to agree, she is not. But she actually, of all those kids, she got better and better and better and better and better. And one of the things that I loved, and to this day is my favorite thing to eat, is stuffed cabbage. I love stuffed cabbage. I like making stuffed cabbage. And bell peppers.
Okay.
I love that. One, it's good beer food. But two,
Did he say beer food?
Beer
it's
food.
good beer food. And just the interesting, what going in and making it in the steam, it's just the smell. I love it. I love it. She was also a good baker, so everything she learned from my grandmother, who was North Carolina, Bethel, a great cook. Cook breakfast every morning for so many people. Lunch, so many people. Dinner, so many people. And Sundays, she pretty much ran the kitchen down there because I have a breakfast, lunch, dinner kind of thing because sermons last all day long.
Right.
From morning, they didn't, back in those time, it was the 70s, they didn't break it up like 8 o'clock service, 11 o'clock. It was like
Right.
8 to 6,
Right.
straight through.
Wow. It's a
You were
long
there
time.
at church all Sunday.
Okay. Well, I know we used to spend
And that-
time like that in church, but it was a breakup, by noon you would go, or sometime. Now, I did enjoy when the ladies would cook and everybody go downstairs in the basement and have Sunday dinner. And then you get your little break and come back upstairs for the part two of the afternoon service, and we'd be out of there by 6 o'clock. And,
Too
but
long.
my favorite thing is when
It was
we would
kind of
have
fun when you were a kid. I like the food.
different churches would come and sing.
Yeah.
When the choir is singing now,
Yeah, that was
we
good.
would have a good time.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, because my mother instilled in us, we didn't have, per se, a particular religion, but she believed that everybody's getting out of this house and going to serve God today.
Amen.
Go somewhere, but you're going, So we had an auntie, Mendor. She would come. She was really big with the kids at her church, and she had the Sunday school. She'd get the church van, and she'd come around and pick up everybody's kids, and she would come to my house and get my brothers and them, and I didn't want to go to her church. It was a little boring. It was people were older,
Right,
but nothing for us kids to do. So I found another church. I would go with my girlfriend, and I would ride to church with her, Evelyn Kelly, and I want to give her a shout out too. Her Evelyn Kelly and Mrs. Kelly, her mother. She's so blessed to have her mom still with her today. They live in Columbus, and they're just so awesome, you know. And I really enjoyed all those Sundays going to church with the Kelly family.
The Kelly family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes,
awesome.
yes.
That's a you know, my mom was probably the biggest spiritual guide in my life, and I say this as in when I say spiritual, you know, it's not about religion. It's about understanding who your great friend is and understand who your creator is. And one of the great things about my mother, she has always been very, very truthful with me. I might not have been as truthful with her, but she's been very, from the very get-go. I could talk real early when I started talking around 10 months. So was one of those babies who didn't crawl. I just started walking.
Okay.
Real early, and I was running my mouth off like I usually do now.
Okay.
And she always answered every question. Always led me the logic tree. I learned that by the time I was 1.
Okay.
How to analyze everything and how it has to fit, be logical. I never believed in Santa Claus or the stork because, unfortunately, she told me the truth right away and got a book and explained it, and I had to make a report.
So you ruined it for all the other kids.
I certainly did at a certain point.
Yes, you did. and you know what? I have great respect for your mother, John, because she gave you confidence at a very young age, because she told you at some point in time, oh, John, you were talking at 10 months and you were doing this in 1 year. Baloney.
I was. You could ask my aunt.
Your mom was telling you that to build up your confidence, making you into the prodigy you are today. She's a good woman. She's a good woman.
She's the best.
She's the best.
I was walking.
Oh, that's what she told
You were walking.
No, I got pictures.
You were walking at 10 months?
No, I was walking at 12.
12 months.
Oh,
well,
okay.
that's about right.
Yeah.
I just didn't crawl. I just got up and started walking.
You just, oh, okay. You just jumped.
Jump
right on into it.
Didn't crawl, just
Yeah,
walk.
I wanted to see that one.
Yeah, I want to see that one.
Yeah.
Too.
As I know, my daughter, she started walking. It was so funny. When she turned 1 year old.
Actually, I jumped down a
She
steps.
was in her walker outside in the backyard for her birthday party, and we wanted her to walk so bad on her first birthday, which she did the next day. We was at my mom's house, and my brother, Douglas, he say, come here, Isha. And she got up and walked right on over there to Dougie and been walking ever since.
Wow.
Yep. And that's her favorite uncle, too. She literally just walked and never looked back. I was like, wow, we wanted her to walk
That
the
day,
day.
right.
On the day of her birthday.
Right.
She wouldn't do it that day, but the next day the girl got up and started walking. I was like, wow, okay. Wow. Yeah, it's amazing to watch these kids grow up.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
And grandmothers, we must talk about the grandmothers.
Oh, yes.
I was just telling my girlfriend today on my way coming to the studio, I says, I never really knew my grandmother because my mom's mom passed when she was a little girl, like about maybe 3 or 4 years old.
Oh,
so
wow.
she really didn't get to know her mother either. Yeah. And her sisters raised her and with along, helped their father raise them up. Sure. My dad's mom, Alice LaSala, I didn't get to meet her till I was much older, like a teenager. And once we started to bond a little bit, then she passed away. So I adopted me a grandmother. Okay. And my grandmother was Josephine Johnson, the baddest lady around town. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, we called her Big Mom. Big Mom, Lord, I miss her so much because Big Mom had some strong prayers. She kept us, she would pray all through the night. She prayed for everybody. Mm-hmm. You tell Big Mom something going on, she get to praying. And she would tell you too, honey, she said, well, y'all be asleep, I be in the bed, me and Jesus, me and God.
Come on.
We be talking and praying, and she could see things too.
Yes.
So, and I love that, so I truly miss her. This is going to be like the second year that we wouldn't have her for Mother's Day. She, passed just recently. But love me some Big Mom. And she was crazy about my daughter Aisha. She say, you may have had her, but that's my child.
That reminds me of Mattie Bell Leaks, my dad's mom, my grandmother, who I love dearly. I mean, she used to tattletale on me all the time. Because I was bad, basically. I would hit my little sister, hit my little brother, and she would always tell my dad on me. But she spoiled the babies. I mean, she just spoiled them, and she could see things like, I think at some age, these grandmothers become, I won't say prophetess, but they become seers.
Yes.
They can see things. And,
Yes.
and if you're not spiritually in tune,
Yes.
you think, oh, you just talking stuff. But no, when she would say things, it would resonate in me. And sure enough, she could see things. And speaking of that, my mother could... She had a gift, and I'm just going to say it. She had a gift of playing the number.
Ooh, okay, mine did too.
She had a gift of playing the number. She could play the number and win like nobody's business.
Wow.
Like nobody's
Okay,
business.
so she's going to be doing my numbers
Especially,
now?
she's passed.
Uh-huh.
Especially when she, was in need of money.
Right.
She just knew what to play
She
and
knew
bing,
what
and
to
it'll pop
play,
up.
and God would give it to her. And she would play it, and she would hit.
Oh, wow.
She would hit. She wasn't one of those players that played all every day. Go
Right,
take my number to.
right,
No,
right.
when she needed some money, she'd play it and she would hit.
Get her some money.
Man, I wish I knew what happened. She had all these books and figures and things.
They
and
called
stuff.
it the rundown.
The rundown.
The
right.
rundown, because my aunt and them,
Yes.
they taught me how to do the rundown.
Right, the rundown. I wish I knew how to do the rundown.
Some people do.
And they kept, it was a book. They had
yeah.
notebooks.
They had
Yeah.
notebooks.
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 Where
There's
they
a
would
lady in
put the
my
number in,
building.
they came out, and they would run the number down, and
Yeah.
then they would
She
tell you how
wins
to
every
look
week.
this way and go that
Every
way.
week.
Yes,
Every week. This woman wins 3 times a week. She only plays Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and she wins every time. Every
She knows the rundown.
single
Yes, it was the
time.
rundown.
It's the most amazing thing I have.
Yes.
And every time I'm in the store and I'm right behind, I'm like, how is this possible?
Or then they were big with whatever they dream. Play your dream.
Right, in the dreams.
Play the dreams.
The dream book.
Yep.
And that's something that's only given to moms, it seems. It's like they have this gift. I'm going to call it what it is. It is a gift. The
It
churches
is.
say, oh, it's gambling, whatever. No. They knew how to play those things, and they knew how to win
Yeah.
those things.
Yeah. And my mother, she was really good with intuition.
Yes.
Well, that's
You know,
probably what it is. Their intuition is more.
If she says no, she didn't like that person
Mm-hmm.
for whatever reason, it was a reason.
Right.
Or no, I don't want you to go this time. And she would say, you'll see, you'll understand as time goes on.
Mhm.
Sometimes it ain't meant for you to go and be at everything.
Come on.
She says, because you can miss something and it may save your life. So learn to be able to listen and hear when your first mind say no, follow it, because 9 times out of 10 it'll never leave you wrong.
Well, if you're
and
grounded in Christ, then that first mind is generally the helper, the Holy Spirit. So I think maybe, like you were saying, they're more in tune
Yes.
intuitively with the Holy Spirit. That's why
Yes.
they can see things.
And my mother, she said, she was born with a veil over her face, so for a long time she could see a lot. Yes.
The veil being lifted.
Yes.
Things like that. My father's mother, me and her never were the best of friends.
I wonder why.
My grandma Vi, and I loved her very, very much. That's because she didn't put up with my nonsense or my manipulating, or my games, which I unfortunately play a lot. And she will cut me off before the games began. And I love that. She gave me structure. The summers and the time I spent with her, I learned structure. I learned time and place, when to do a thing, when not to do the thing. Sometimes she did it with me, sometimes she didn't. And it was, she was a very amazing woman. Very, very.
Well, you know
amazing.
what? I was sitting here thinking, we were talking about
Smart.
mothers and single parent mothers and mothers who are married with children. But then, you know what? We also have men mothers who have had to take the role of being a mother, the role of a mother in their home because of maybe something happened to the kid's mother. So I want to give them a big shout out as well today, because it takes two, to raise this family. And sometimes we are in situations where we have to do it by yourself, with the help of God. So let's not forget those men who do play the role of mother.
Come on.
Okay? Because that's a job. That's a job. I've seen men raise their kids, girls braid their hair up better than a woman would, and keep those kids and raise them and groom them and have these conversations.
Is it a Happy Father's Day, though?
Yeah, that's coming too. But, still, they play that role.
Yeah.
Just like mothers. Some mothers, they have to play both roles.
Correct.
And it's hard to play. You can't when you're a woman, you can't always give your son everything that a man would give him.
So you have to find those mentors that we
Yes. So that's important.
just makes the job a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Well, not so much harder if you lean on Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Let to help her lead you.
Yeah.
Well, today I heard an awesome message from none other than Bishop Romy Coles.
Okay.
And it was a Mother's Day message. And he taught on the church being like a mother.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to love and respect our church like we love and respect our mothers. Because the church gave birth to us while we were in the dark place, we were in the darkness. It birthed us into the light. It birthed us into the marvelous light of Jesus Christ. And it nurtures us. And it helps us through life. It gives us all the things a mother gives us, and even more, because it gives us eternal life, through the church. And I thought that was a really interesting message, because it hit home with me, because I know I love my mama. And I said, you know what? I'm going to love my church like I love my mama. Can you imagine the results you get when you start loving your church like you love your mother?
I love the church.
Right.
Yeah.
The respect and the honor that's due the church, and the giving that you give, to your church, because the church is like a mother to many of us.
Yes, because it sets the
has
foundation
raised
and
many
the
of us.
boundaries there,
Exactly.
It
guidance.
has raised many of us.
Yes.
I love that word, boundaries.
Yes.
Because when we start getting boundaries, I remember when I got older, my mother, one of the boundaries, my mother said, I'm not going to spank you no more. I'm going to let your daddy spank you. I'll never forget that change.
Mm-hmm.
That boundary change. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
yeah.
Okay, it was a paradigm shift. Because my mama's spankings didn't bother me no more.
Right.
And my dad hated the spankers. Oh, he didn't want to spank us. But when he did,
You did.
brother, you better. You know what? I don't
Because he didn't like to do it.
He only had to spank me maybe a couple times. Because when I get his spankings, it was like he said, it hurts me more than it hurts you.
Yeah.
And that was a change. I guess we just sometimes think we can run over moms at some point. But when she released Dad on me, that was it. I was done.
Speaking of dad whipping, I remember the first time, and that was the first time and the last time.
Mm-hmm.
Aisha, we had her in daycare, and this day Aisha just went through her little thing and tore up the room. And the teacher left it just like that, because her daddy was coming to pick her up. And she said, I just wanted to show you, Mr. Winston, what Aisha did today. And he looked at that room, and he looked at Aisha, and he said, Dee, he cried, telling me about it. He said, I had to whoop Poopaluppa today. And that girl just don't know how bad it hurt me to whip her. I can't whip her no more, Dee. So I really, he said, I'm going to leave it up to you. He said, it hurt me so bad.
Mm-hmm.
I was crying. She just don't know how bad it hurt me to give her a whipping.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to whip her
Right.
to let her know she is not going to be doing this.
Tearing up other people's property.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
And after that was he never had to whip Aisha no more. But we didn't have problems with Aisha. My mother used to say, don't be hollering and shouting. Talk to Aisha, because my mother would spend time with Aisha on the weekends, because I would work third shift. And she says, you don't have to shout and holler at her. She's very sensitive. You talk to her. Me and her, we sit down and talk to her. She understands, you know, and I listen to what my mother did. And like Aisha says, I don't have to what by Aisha. Just talk, you know. So, and that's good, you know, because sometimes when you start hollering and talking and screaming at your kids all the time, they don't pay no attention. They just think it's the norm. You know, because my mother had a girlfriend like that. You know, she was raising her grandkids and stuff.
Gotta be a balance.
You know, and she would, and the kids knew what they were doing, you know, and she would scream and holler and everything. And then Mama, she'd say, them kids find her funny. They ain't paying her no attention because she do it all the time.
You're right.
You
It has
know?
to be a balance. You got to know each child, you know, and that's another thing about my parents. I always thought it was amazing. Like I'm a hard-headed person, so you can talk to me and try to communicate to me. But if I want to do what I want to do, generally I just kept on doing it.
We don't.
You
We
know,
know.
and sometimes I had to get snatched up.
Past few shows.
Yes.
Give us indication of that, Sir John.
And I had to get snatched up, and I really prefer my father than my mother, because my mother, when she turned into the whirlwind, it was like, you know, that's scary. You know, amazingly, this small woman has the strength of 20 men. She was more controlled. I like that.
and now it comes back to me why my mother stopped spanking me, because the last time she spanked me, she wanted to kill me, and she said, I don't want to ever feel that again.
Yeah.
You know, and because my back was scarred up by her nails. I mean, I was running from her, and she just grabbed my back and
brought you down.
Brought me down.
Don't ever run.
You know, and I was a runner.
You was a runner?
I was a runner. I remember running from my dad when he started spanking me.
You gotta stay still.
I ran under the bunk bed, and the bunk bed fell on my wrist.
Oh, no.
Jesus.
Now he had to take me
to
Suburban Hospital, where they looked at me and they looked at him and like, is this a case of child abuse?
Yeah.
And my dad said, let me tell y'all something. And whatever he told them, they were fine with it. And released me into his custody. But I was a runner, and man, I'd run from her, and that would irk her to the highest of festivities. And I remember exactly what I did. I remember exactly what I did. My cousins were all over. They were outside playing. I was on punishment. I opened up the bedroom window from the backyard where they were playing, and I mooned them. And my cousin Sashay, if you're listening, she came and told Auntie Gloria that Larry sticked his behind out the window. Was I bad or was I bad?
Ooh, you was bad. Who would think of something like that?
I didn't even know what mooning was. There was no but the devil in me. Stick your butt out the window. What possessed me to do that? Word. Possessed.
Right. You know, here's something that was crazy my mother used to do. She used to tell you when it was time to get a whipping, go upstairs and take off all your clothes.
Did she?
I was like, a couple of times, you know, I would go upstairs and start taking off something. And then one time, she said, go upstairs. I said, you know what? Why am I going up here taking off all my clothes? I went upstairs. I started layering up. When she got upstairs, she was so bad. She said, didn't I tell you to take them clothes off so I could whip your butt? Who told you to put all these clothes on? It was just so funny. But what was so embarrassing, though, growing up is, if you did something wrong, my mother had this sister, Sandy. They was like this. They were real close, and they talk sometimes all through the day. But they shared, if you did something bad, that sister knew about it. And if she gave you a whipping or something, after she finished, she'd go get on the phone. Son, girl, let me tell you what I had to do.
Let me tell you.
And therefore, now the whole family know what you done did wrong. You know, and then some cousins, they would tease you about it depending on what it was. Oh, my goodness. And don't get out of line with her. I had one cousin, oh, Rita, don't worry. As soon as I get off of work, I'll be over there first thing in the morning. I'll get a hold of her. And she would come over, and I'd be in the bed sleeping. Here come Nadine kicking the door in. What's this? You giving my auntie a problem? Well, talk to me. Tell me what's going on over here. You don't do such and such a thing. That's when I started growing up to be a teenager, trying to do little slick little stuff. And she would come, and that would be the enforcer. And so I was crazy about her because she was my big sister. I always wanted to do right, because if I didn't do right, she wouldn't take me places. I couldn't hang out with her, So they had their way of doing things with
me.
They
did, having a mother who's also a twin, if she was too mad, she'll have my aunt called or talk to you. Well, if you argued her to a standpoint and she couldn't get it around. So my aunt would, and that would go on for hours, me and her arguing. But my mom was her own enforcer. Come to find out, I learned from a guy when I learned from this guy who used to know my mother and my uncle and my aunt, and he told me that my mother was a bully.
Really?
In this little old town in North Carolina.
Your mama was a bully.
She pretty much bullied everybody. And I'm thinking about it, and I remember going, yeah, I can see that. When she loses her temper, it's like I said, she's super strong.
Different person.
A totally different person.
Yes.
But the sweetest heart would do anything for anyone.
Yeah. But mothers is truly special, and we are just all so thankful and blessed to have our mothers in our lives. And the mothers that are in heaven, they sure came here and did what they had to
grandmothers,
do. Grandmothers, stepmothers,
great grandmothers.
Oh yes, and the great grandmothers, because my daughter was blessed to even have a great grandmother. So yes, they lived long lives in this family. But I do want to just give a special shout out. I had an opportunity yesterday evening to attend the Union Miles 15th annual fundraiser event that was held here at the Marriott, Cleveland Marriott East. And it was really terrific. Had an opportunity to spend time with the former Mayor Zach Reed and others.
You saying maybe?
You heard me, maybe, because he's running. We don't know. Maybe he might be our new mayor. You don't know.
Maybe.
There's a lot of them out there shooting for that position. But however, it was a wonderful program, and I just want to give a special shout out for the Union Miles Development Corporation with their fundraiser. We have Khalid Samad. Awesome young man. He gets out there. He's a true warrior for the city of Cleveland. Handling different situations. So I want to give that brother a special shout out. Yes, you are awesome and amazing, because it takes a great person, a mighty man, to sacrifice his time like that.
Amen.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, I just wanted a clarification. I mean bully. I don't mean bully as we have it modern days. I mean, she grew up in the South, segregated city, so she had to make moves to get around.
And let me tell you this here, just for you to know, this coming Tuesday, they're going to do a groundbreaking at John Adams High School. They're going to give John Adams...
Isn't that your high school?
That's right, Rebels. We're getting a football field back. So if you want to attend the groundbreaking, it's going to be this Tuesday, John Adams High School at 1 o'clock. So that is something that's awesome that's going on in our Union Miles neighborhood, because I grew up off 104th and Union. So they're doing some positive things.
That is positive.
Okay, so if you get a chance, please stop out.
That school had the fastest team when back in the 80s.
Oh, honey, when I came out in 78, and we were number one in everything. Track, football, baseball, basketball. We had a really good sport team. So John Adams.
Bringing the traditions
John
back.
Adams, the Mighty Rebels.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, indeed. So we're going to just go ahead and get this Sunday wrapped up. Want you all to enjoy. Thanks for sharing your time with us. We'll be back next Sunday, same time, same place.
Any indication who our guest is going to be next Sunday?
We're going to keep that as a surprise.
A surprise.
Yes. We got a surprise coming next Sunday.
We got a surprise.
Yes. Yeah. We're going to give a surprise for our audience. So just tune in and you'll see who it is. Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Surprise. Right here. What's going on with Sir John?
Have a blessed Mother's Day.
Lady Dee.
Yes, thanks for listening. Happy Mother's Day. Love all you mothers out there. Yes.
Turn your eyes. Did he play so everything alone.